How we doing out there, people? We're in early because I got some business I got to take care of today, and that's the reason why we're in early. Usually we're getting around 6, maybe 7, 8 o'clock. Got a few things I got to do. Got some things I got to take care of today to get done. Yeah. So first things first. My name's Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG, Infusion Light Energy Technology Screens. As you all know, that a fellow by the name been having some very serious problems with a fellow YouTuber by the name of Crows1176. That's what his channel was called at one point. He wanted to change the channel over to Crow, all capitals, lowercase, or actually hyphen, or lowercase hyphen, and BH76. And then he went back in and changed the name over to our company, which is ILEG, except for he couldn't add in the S for screens because, again, it would be duplicated. It's still duplicated at the end of the day. So we've been with YouTube Legal. I got some emails from them. They're looking through his account. His account is now under investigation. And because of that right there, what he did is basically against the law. So you can't do stuff like that. Even under YouTube's policy, there's a strict policy about duplicating people's their YouTube channels, but that's connected to our company. And that is considered now a part of cybercrimes, something he's being charged with immigration, because there's a charge that we basically went in and put in all the applications, all the information needed to apply for what he did to us while he was over here in the United States. And he's being charged with cybercrimes. Well, actually, soon he'll be charged with cybercrimes once they pick him up. This is just going to be added to it. So all we have to do is we already made an initial complaint with YouTube. We're going out to Allentown's Police Department. We got pictures, we got videos, everything, what he posts on his channel. Basically what he went in and did my face, where he went in and basically duplicated our channel's name. Go back into the police department, fill out the application. We have his information, and we have the report involving deportation. They have for the picking up people who are not documented, pretty much. And we got to take all that information in, and then from there we make an appointment with the FBI, and we bring everything over there to go from there. Now, as I said before, people that are involved and you were associating with this individual, you're not going to, of course, you're not going to fall in the same guidelines as immigration, but with FBI you will. So keep in mind, we've already had problems with you guys. I went in last year and did this. Now we're coming back in with more information about the ringleader who started all this nonsense and the associates that were tied in with them. Your names are mentioned in the report, along with the ISIS. So just so you know that when they lock him up and everything, chances are probably 100% he's probably going to sing like a canary on you. Bigger problem, and much, much, much bigger problem. This guy was running a company. So he's running a company. That means he had a PayPal account. If you had a PayPal account, that means he has documented addresses. Yes, your addresses are literally in his PayPal account right now. He has a record of your addresses. This is why we tell people, when the warning signs are there, do the research. Do the research. We've been warning you about this guy for years. We've been telling you about this guy. We've seen the stuff he was doing. We've seen the stuff he was doing to us. No businessman acts the way he acts. Nobody does that at all, period. And then, like I said, major red flags are popping up, especially the copyrights. A person hits one copyright, they lawyer up quick because they have no idea what that company's going to do. They can be nice and say, hey, look, we'll give you a slap on the wrist. You give us $1,000 here and there, it goes away. Or they can take them to court and just sue the daylights out of them. There's a number of things on how this can go wrong. So people are terrified about being hit with copyrights. This guy had no fear at all. He hit this copyright multiple times. He posted it to his channel, and we're thinking that whether he's mentally challenged or maybe he has some mental problems while he's doing this. No, he's not documented, which means he feels that he's above the law. He can do whatever he wants to do. And again, this also too hurts his race at the end of the day, because again, this is one of the things that people are protesting about, why they don't want Mexicans in the country, because they said that they're dangerous. And look what he's doing to his own people. Now, do I believe that? No. And I'm the one that was attacked. I don't believe that all Mexicans are. I got Mexican friends. I got people about to marry into my family that are going to be Mexicans. And I welcome them, yes. I don't look at them to say, well, I see this idiot. People are like that. People who have a bad experience with the race, they'll blame the entire race. Oh, they're all bad at the end of the day. They're all bad apples. I was raised differently. We only see the individuals that are idiots, and the rest of them, well, you got to prove it to me at the end of the day. I mean, you're the nicest person in the world. I'm going to treat you like you're my family at the end of the day. If you choose to stab me in the back and do me wrong, that's on you, not your race. That's how I treat people. So he really, he's an interesting character. This guy broke every law you could possibly think about, and probably much more, but we don't have documented. And the reason why he was carrying on like this, because again, he felt that he couldn't be prosecuted, that the most that would happen to him, and we thought the same thing too, that he was just going to be deported, and that was the end of it. That's actually not the end of it. From what I read in those documents, it's not the end of it. He'll be charged with whatever crimes he's committed here in the United States, and depending on how long they plan to keep him in a prison, after that, they will release him. But the charges he has is a lot. He has a lot of charges. Mind you, the charges that we have right now with the Allentown Police Department, there's about 23 in there. 23 counts of charges. And keep in mind, every single one of the charges have substantial evidence scanned into the police system showing committing these acts. It's bad. I mean, really bad. He's attacked my family. They're following. And now that they know what they know now it's coming up, everything's coming out in the open, they're going in too. They're contacting. They're putting in separate reports besides mine. If they can't be on my report, they got to be on their own report about the problems they have with this guy contacting them with letters and messages and carrying on and acting up, harassing them. You know, he wants to come at people and say, oh, you're racist. Man, you have done more damage to your people than anyone that may be racist against Mexicans. You're Mexican yourself, and you literally have painted a nasty picture at the end of the day of what your people are not. Because, again, like I said, I have friends that are Mexicans. And my friends that are Mexicans, at the end of the day, they want to beat the crap out of Jaime because you're making them look bad. Doing that nonsense. Now, biggest problem you have right now for your customers out there, he's got your address. That's your biggest problem. Yes, it is. He's not on his YouTube channel. They've been monitoring his use. He's scared. He's not coming up. They're going to monitor once that documented becomes where it needs to go. They're going to monitor everything. Yes, everything. So you know he has your addresses and a PayPal account. What happens is, and I've been doing business for years, your PayPal information, your credit card and all that stuff, no, he doesn't have access to that because they pretty much chop all that up pretty badly. But the address is still there. Yep. So he has your addresses, a lot of them. So y'all got to figure out what's going on with that. This is the reason why we've been warning you. This is why I was telling you from the door, don't deal with this guy. We've known this guy for 5 years. We've seen all kinds of dirty stuff from this guy. All kinds. I've got all kinds of text messages from him saying the most weirdest, most jacked up stuff you could possibly think of. We warned you. And did you listen to me? No, you didn't listen to me at all. We told you his products were fake. We went out and did multiple demonstrations telling you this guy was scamming you guys from the door. Did you listen? Nope, didn't listen. What did he sow? That's what you do. You attack my company instead and say at the end of the day that I am doing all these things when this guy was doing all this stuff to you. And now he's got your personal identification. He's got your where you live at. Unless you moved and you're good. And if you haven't, well, you better figure it out. I don't know what you're going to do, honestly. He has access to a PayPal account 24/7. He has access to it. Say they remove him, and he goes to prison. Go to prison first, but say he goes back, right? You still have access to the PayPal account, unless you can figure a way how you can get the PayPal account closed down by submitting information that maybe you're going to have to wait till the documents come back. You have to wait till everything comes back. From what we're seeing right now, from all the red flags that are popping up, there is, yes, a possibility, a very strong possibility he's not documented. Because I told you before, what did I say? Anybody, it's human nature. Anybody who has the ID or information, or anyway, proving who they are, is going to show this right from the door. No one's going to sit there and have somebody tell them something that they're not when they know that they are. They're going to back it up. They're going to show it. Cops do it all the time. Are you a freaking cop? You don't look like a cop to me. To pull the badge out. What do you think? There you go. You're not going to sit there and take that abuse at the end of the day. Somebody went to school. They could have went to Harvard at the end of the day. You went to Harvard? Really? You? You went to Harvard. Oh, that's got to be fake. Man, you pull up. There you go. Bam. There you go. I went to Harvard. T-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever, so and so and so. Even if you bring it up, they'll say, oh, you could have printed that out. Show me something real. You got to go back and get your freaking diploma off a wall and come out and go, here you go. Bam. Yeah, people do that all day long. Back up who they are. Something like that, you would think you would want to back up 100%. There you go. Impersonating a priest? Yeah, you may want to back that up because that's something that can carry some very serious jail time for doing that. Did he back it up? No, he ranted in front of a Burlington Coat Factory in 3 videos. That shows you he doesn't have any of that. Same thing like the other one. If you can't back it up, you ain't gonna hear anything from him. That's what it comes down to. So no, he would have came back. His final retaliation was to change his YouTube channel to our name and do that slander video. This is why I said at the end of the day, be careful about the things you say from your mouth because they become true. You got to be careful about that. What was the last video he shot? Now, mind you, at the time we were saying we don't know if he has paperwork or not. We have to call somebody and find out. They can do it. Some figure out what's going on. Unfortunately, do a document. We fill out a document. What we said that we don't know yet. And the reason why, when he went all racist on it, and I shot a video before, actually he made that video to back it up in court. If he ever decided to take it to court, if he was documented, take it to court, I said right there in the video, I said before you said yours, I said we're taking you and we're finding out because I'm not going to pay any more court cost fees because I don't get that back if you're not documented, to make sure you can stand trial in the United States as a United States citizen, to make sure you have those documents. And what was bringing up the red flag, Mr. Bird, what was the cause of you thinking this? Multiple things. Number one, major is language barrier. Someone has been here for this amount of time. Again, definitely should have picked up much better than that. The fact that he'd even know exactly the liquid measurements. You learned that in 3rd grade. That everybody knows that one at the end of the day. Another thing, the copyrights. The copyrights were the biggest red flag of all. Who freaking hits a copyright that many times unless you feel that you're not responsible because you're not a United States citizen and you'll be easily deported and you won't take any of the blame for that, so you can carry on whatever you want. No one does that. Even the lawyers in this building, every attorney that I went to, even the police who saw that was shocked that somebody would hit a copyright that many times. Those red flags shot up all over the place. So there were a lot of things. The apartment he was in, he was literally in that apartment for years. Come on. Everybody knows, unless you're in an apartment that long, only a couple of reasons why. You're single, you don't have any kids, and you don't spend a lot of money on a lot of things. You know, your place doesn't get crowded. Everybody knows you outgrow everything. You definitely outgrow it. I've moved to multiple places, and I don't have kids. And I've literally outgrown places that I like to buy stuff, and my places get crowded quick, as you can see what's going on in the office right now. I literally got a storage unit to put my stuff in. So it's a number of things right there, that alone. He raised an entire family in that apartment. So you raised a family in that entire apartment. Why don't you just go and get a bigger apartment? Why don't you just go and get, most people get bigger apartments. Most people get you get a house. You know, you have a family, you want to get a house, you want kids to run around and play and stuff like that. You don't want to be trapped in an apartment all day. That's what most people do. No. Yeah, the reason why is because in these applications, they ask for a lot of information. So now, you know what's going to be investigated? Once they go through this thing, they're going to go through his job. They're going to contact the landlord. Because when they're the landlord, at the end of the day, he's been living here for this long, and you didn't have any paperwork on this guy whatsoever. Yeah, it's going to be bad. They're going to go in, they're going to basically, strong possibility, they may make contact with his wife, family, stuff like that. As I said before, when I was doing the documents, I was thinking, like, do I really want to go down this road? But we don't have an option because he wouldn't stop attacking the company. And people can't sit there and say, oh, you visually went after him. Yeah, we sent the guy a cease and desist order from an attorney. Which, crazy thing about it is, wasn't even his address. It was his brother's address that he used for that document. So when someone sends you a document telling you, hey, you may want to back down because you're going to get sued, and you keep on going, guess whose fault that is? That's your fault at the end of the day. That becomes your fault. So you can go in and go all Karen mode on me, knock yourself out at the end of the day. But we did what we had to do. It was right. I'm not going to sit there and let somebody viciously attack my family, my company, and even my pet cat over here, thinking they can do whatever they want, and there's no consequences. There's consequences at the end of the day. How would you like it if I go to your country and I do something like that? Attack your citizens, dox addresses, do all the malicious stuff that he did. You guys would be protesting to get me to freak out at the end of the day. I would make the country look bad. Oh, we definitely got to get him out of here. He's doing all kinds of stuff. He ain't got no respect for anybody. Okay, there we go. Or is it this right here on why people should have a right to do what they want to do? Because don't make it, I can make it about race very, very easily. Extremely easy. Because you've seen the skin tone, majority of the people that were attacking me even had text messages calling me nigger. You want to make it about this? This is very easy to do. Because you got people out there looking at the stats on how we were attacked. And the simple fact that people want to protest or get mad at me, well, you shouldn't be to do anything. Why? Because it is? Is this why I did what it is? Because like I said, I can easily make it about that. But we won't. We'll leave that alone. Put that in God's hands. So anyway, I'm sitting there thinking at the end of the day, do I really want to go down this line with the end of the day? Maybe we could find a better way. Most people who've been through what I've been through are not trying to find a better way. They're trying to get you taken down as fast as possible, because once you start attacking people's family members and you start attacking them and their business, they're coming after your head. And even through all that, we try to figure out a way how to figure out this at the end of the day to come to a solution. He didn't want a solution. Jaime just wanted war. That's all he wanted. And he got what he wanted in the end. Got exactly what he wanted. So I went through all the procedures. Even in that moment, I went through a whole thing trying to figure out the consequences are going to come behind this once that document is completed. That not only he's going to be hunted, they're all going to be hunted. So again, they got to go through everything. It's going to be a huge investigation. We had to put down in the description what kind of problems do we have from this individual, what kind of crimes were committed. It's all in there, everything. It had to be done. So, you know, Fernando, if you're upset and bitter with me, you did this to yourself. Remember that. You did this to yourself. I gave you every opportunity out of that situation. I even sat here and done YouTube videos and explained, look, man, you got to grow up. This is not a game at the end of the day. Things can get real really quick. And now, knowing what we know now, it's going to be absolute nightmare. It's going to be beyond the nightmare I thought it was going to be. It's going to be way beyond that. So, biggest problem your customers have right now, it's aside the fact that they got ripped off, and they clearly got ripped off. They got a house paint. We definitely know that 100%. He scammed you on that. But the bigger problem you got is that PayPal account. That's what you have. Email accounts on top is another problem you got, because anything that transfers to the Wix account comes to an email account, and all your information pops up there, like your address and where to ship it to. And then from there, it's on the PayPal account with the transaction and all that stuff. He doesn't need to have that in his possession at all, period. So you got to figure out how to get that out of his possession. Because again, like I said, if you can be overseas, if you got passwords and whatever, get access to your account, you can get access to your account anytime you want. Unless PayPal finds a probable cause why this may be a danger and they may remove it. That's not my business at the end of the day. That'll be you guys. I didn't play what I have on my accounts, he can't do anything with anyway whatsoever. But if you've been living at the same address and you're still living at the same address after basically all this goes down, you got a problem on your hands, because he has your address. Now, as for you trying to duplicate our account, what you did here, like I said, a new additional charges, and I'm going to actually open up another report with them, and I'm going to file with this and the copyrights and with the docket number we got from the process server and all that with the CCB of you touching our copyrights. So I'm going to fill out 2 of these reports with immigration, because again, there's other stuff you've done and we didn't even have enough room to put it in. So I had to contact somebody to see if we can actually file another report. So we're going to put another report on him. Once again, we have our documents here from where he was touching my copyrights without my permission. And we have the docket number for go. Copyrights claim board, where he was touching our copyrights. And there's our little docket number right there. So we're going to go in and put all this in with another claim against them, including this is a new claim for identity theft on YouTube, using our YouTube channel, from our company's name, and basically posting pictures and all that stuff. So it's videos and that stuff will be submitted to also. You know, it's a shame, like I said. I sat there and said, some people are meant to self-destruct. And that's what it is. Meant to self-destruct. He had plenty of options out of it, and he didn't take any of them at all whatsoever. I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Fernando. You can understand this. People with the kind of attitude that you have at the end of the day, they don't survive long. They don't. And the prison system where you're going to go to because of the crimes you committed, understand this. You play those same games out here and there, you won't live that long. I'm telling you the truth. I've been through the system already. You will not survive. Over there, they don't play that nonsense in the day. They will confront you. They will hurt you. Immigration, cybercrimes. So you think at the end of the day, I always back up everything I say, because I don't like to say things that are not true. It's a real thing. It's a enforcement, that's the form we had to go in and file for, showing the crimes he's committed against my company, against my friends and family and everything. And like I said, we put the docket number up. Docket number was put up for the Allentown Police. So it was put up because there's a lot of information in that. I got to go back in and get the previous ones and put those in there also. Now, Jaime will make this basically about himself and say, oh, you know, he's doing this out of hatred. Buddy, you attacked our company. You attacked my family. You carried on and acted up. What do you think was going to happen? I was going to sit there and give you a plaque at the end of the day and go, oh, great job. Great job for harassing my friends and family. And basically, my hard work, when I worked to build and make my products, coming behind me and just basically tainting my stuff by trying to make me look bad. No, buddy. You got what you deserve. I don't know what's going to happen in the prison system you're going to be in, because I can guarantee it's going to be far worse than there, but I can guarantee at the end of the day, you bought this on yourself. You had plenty of opportunity, just like anybody else that come over to any country, you had that opportunity. And while you was here, what did you do at the time? Get in trouble. That's what you did. You are 50, and your reporter says you're 50. You definitely should be 49 years old. How are you going to coach your kids at the end of the day to do better, be better citizens and all that, and you're doing this reckless stuff? Now, this is how bad it can be. This is the jail time for immigration cybercrimes. Now, mind you, depending on the severity of the crime, and yours is severity, it's up there. I mean, the stuff we have on you is unfreaking believable. The crimes specify law involvement, but generally the maximum sentence you could range from 2 years in prison, which is basic illegal, or you can get up to 10 years. That's one of the ones you could get. And for more serious, and yours is definitely serious, extremely seriously, you're looking at a 20-year prison sentence. It's not a joke. It's a dead serious. Depends on what you've done. It depends on how much time you're going to get. So if you thought in the back of your mind, and that's what I think, that's why he's shitting the copyrights like that. I think he thought in the back of his mind, hey, I don't have paperwork here. He can't touch me. I can do whatever I want to do, and he can't touch me. That would explain the attitude and the way you were carrying yourself. And again, as I said before, you make your people look bad. Because that's what they don't want. They don't want people to think that they can come over here and give off that impression. You dirty, man, really? Your own race at the end of the day? And you want to call me racism? You did your own race ugly. But anyway. So he thought he was going to do what he wanted to do and carry on and act up, and there was going to be no consequences for him. Let me touch the copyrights. Let me do whatever. He can't touch me at all whatsoever. I'm pretty sure he talked to somebody, gave him the most dumbest information ever. No, you have to be charged for that. You committed crimes. And I thought that at one point until I talked to an attorney, an immigration attorney, and they told me at the end of the day, said, no, they're going to charge him. So when you go and fill the documents out, they're going to ask what he did to you and blah, 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 and so on, so on. So, because you just can't go in there and just report somebody for the sake of saying, I got a suspicious. That's how he tried to make it sound. Like I got a suspicious so and so and so. I didn't go in anonymous, buddy. They got my name, my address, everything. They got even my home front, everything. I put everything down. My attorney's name, everything is in there, everything. I want them to reach out and contact me because I got to have a conversation with these people. I want to let them know exactly the stuff that you were doing to us. So they got my information. Unlike you, when you go and you contact people, you get fake information because you don't want to be found because you're committing crimes. Oh, and keep in mind, we've still got the docket number, which we're going to submit in there where you actually called the police on me. Try to get me swatted in the garage. Definitely got the docket numbers for that. I'm definitely going to send that. So that's why we have to do a second report, because we still have more information. We're following in on them. But anyway, but that's what he thought was going to happen. He thought he was going to do crimes, do whatever he wanted to do, and there's no consequences because they'll just send me back, and I'll go back there, and I'll just live a life, and I don't have to worry about any consequences. Nope. Now, what I found out downstairs, and what I was told downstairs, roughly it'd be 2 years, but they don't know the extent of the damage and stuff you were doing at the end of the day. So they said roughly 2 years. But when I read through this, and this is the document we filled out about the cyber crimes you were committing against us, it's much worse than that. Judging by the accounts between everything from perjury, everything from copyrights infringement, that's very serious. I mean, post office mail fraud, doxing addresses, fraud, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, he's looking at some very serious time. And this is what makes it even more crazy. Because he doesn't have the documents, doesn't mean that you're out of jurisdiction at all, period. It means now they have a right to come and get you and lock you up and throw you in jail. Put you in a prison system for the time being for holding. Means we don't have to we have to get a process server, it's not needed. We don't need one. We don't need a process server. We don't need any of that whatsoever. Now, if you want to sit there and you want to scream on your other channels and make it about race, you'll get yourself in more trouble on top of that. Because I got people right now documenting anywhere you step. Not about race, Mr. Fernando. You broke the law. You attacked their companies. You attacked my family outside my company. You and your friends did that nonsense. So don't forget the friends, because, yeah, we got something for you, and we walk with the FBI. No, we already got this guy locked in with them. We're going to go to FBI and begin the process for you guys next. You guys went out and did all this nonsense, and then especially for him, did all this craziness, and then you want to call it about race. No, it's about race, but at the end of the day, you have to face your consequences. I did mine many years back. I got in some trouble. You don't hear me on YouTube crying and whining and complaining about, no, it's my fault. I did it. I did the time, and that's all it is. That's it. I don't blame the judge. I don't blame the person who snitched on me. I don't blame anybody. I blame me because I did it. If I didn't go do what I did, I wouldn't have been in that situation to begin with. Be a man and own up. That's the problem with you, Fernando. You do not own up to your mistakes and the faults and things that you do to other people. You don't own up to that. When you rip those people off on that house paint, screen paint, whatever that mess is, you should have came out on camera and say, hey, look, I apologize. I should have did more testing on the product. You know, I'll try better next time. And from now on, whatever products we make, we'll test it against what we were basically matching. That's what you should have did. That would have made your customers respect you even more. Instead of you going out and lying, bringing the video back, which is all that's going to be sent to them. Mind you, everything you did is documented. And so if you're going back and changing the title of the video to yellowish tone and continue to lie, or to your audience about that, faking a move. We literally have emails from him that he was sending to us saying, oh, now you can't come and prosecute me now. You can't do anything because I moved. All that nonsense, all that craziness. And then every time we would put him in a situation to back his product up, that jerk would go on vacation. He disappeared. So, yeah. But that for us, we're done with him. We'll let them take care of it. And when they need me, they'll contact me and we'll give them all the information they need. See, Mr. Fernando, this is what I'm talking about. God is tired of your nonsense. He is. He's tired of it. And the devil got you to do exactly what he needs you to do. What did I tell you people at the end of the day? What's the job of the devil? The job of the devil is to kill you. That's his job. His job is to get you in some kind of crazy, weird position where he has a better odds of taking your life. That is his job at the end of the day. What did Fernando do? Fernando did everything the devil told him to do. Did your actions do anything to us? Did any of our blessings get taken away? Did anything happen? I sat right there on camera and said, if we're doing all these evil things, may the Lord take it away from us. Our company or our technology has been expanding to a high level. One's been rising, one's been falling. God can't bless the hand of the wicked. That's why he was. You don't see anything that comes or prospers from him because he's constantly doing something evil. Probably constantly thinking of something evil. Warned you multiple times over and over again. You kept playing that game and playing that game. The devil knew at the end of the day he can't touch me. If the devil knew he could touch me, he wouldn't even need you. He could just come and do it himself. He can't touch me. I'm an anointed Christian. But he can try to get somebody at the end of the day to try to come near me, but he knows at the end of the day it's not going to work. He ain't worrying about me. He's worrying about you. He got you to do all the things he needed you to do, and it did nothing to us at the end of the day, but basically get you in a lot of trouble. That's all it did. And you never saw it, and we kept warning you. I had these little things I tell people at the end of the day. It's not to scare you at the end of the day. It's to warn you what is watching you every single day of your life. Is sitting out there plotting to figure a way how to ruin or kill. Matter of fact, forget ruin, kill you. That's all to it. You're no good to him over here. Perfect example, me. I'm the perfect example of that. Running the streets, carrying on, getting in trouble, acting up. Devil had me. Right there. The devil had me. A little bit longer, who knows what would have happened? He could have been talking to somebody across town, like, yeah, you know that guy over there walks around all that jewelry. Yeah, they tried to kill me one time. That jewelry, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go kill him and get his jewelry. That's the devil. The devil's sitting there, open his mouth in hell and talking, and your lips start to move. Because the first minute he gets in your ear and he starts talking to you and you listen, you entertain what he's telling you, imagine him talking and saying something and you're saying it on the other end. Now he's using you like a puppet. And he'll have you do this, that, and the other. And while he's doing this, he's playing a game with somebody else doing the exact same thing to them. Hopefully, you two will have a conflict and meet up with each other. And maybe one of you might kill each other. If he's lucky. And that's what he thought he was going to do up here. When I was out there roaming in the streets. Except for I had my Lord protecting me the entire time. Because Mom's a true blue Christian. She prayed every single day when her kids went out there. She prayed, she prayed, she prayed. And the Lord basically protected me even when I was doing dumb stuff out there. So he had his opportunity. He had his opportunity. And that's why when I got locked up and all that happened at the neighbors was the best thing that happened to me. Because again, it allowed me to clear that stage and only see God only. It put me in a situation where I didn't have all the distractions anymore. All I had was just God. That's all I had. I had nothing left in there but God. That's all I had. So am I going to depend on the devil who got me in this mess to begin with, or I'm going to depend on God who can get me out of it? And that's what I did. When my mother gave me the Bible and the devil spoke to me in the next cell and told me that book would do me no good. So when I saw that, I saw what I was listening to and talking to. When I got out of the system, when I got myself baptized, I got myself into the church, this is when I realized the plan of what the devil is trying to do. You don't see that when you're out there in the world because the devil is of the world. You can't see it. He camouflages it quite nicely. But he's there. And his goal is one thing, not to make trouble for you, to kill you. That's it. Because if he was able to kill me when I was out there, then I would have lost my salvation. I would have went to hell. He would have had me 100%. But because there's a possibility, if the Lord basically leans in my direction and gives me guidance, even when I deny him, I got a possibility of becoming saved, and he knows it. You know, when my mother tried to push so hard to try to get me into the church, I fought it every step of the way. I fought it. I fought. to get out. I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to do it. I fought. I even threatened a preacher one time. I threatened his life, take his life. I even walked into a church with a knife after him because I didn't like the way he spoke to me. The devil spoke to me that quick, like you can't have anybody talk to you like that. Man in the cloth, who do you think's at the end of the day? Try to get me to go and kill this guy. And I kill this preacher at the end of the day. There you go, in jail. Listening to him. I walked in this church with this weapon on me and sat down and watched this man walk by several times, and I couldn't move. For some reason, my body froze. I couldn't move. Not only was the Lord protecting him, but he's protecting me from the devil that was trying to destroy me from the beginning. That's what he was doing. And I couldn't realize why. My arms were moving, my legs were moving. I was just stuck, like I couldn't move. I could see him, but I couldn't move. And I knew what was going on. It scared the daylights out of me. I thought I was paralyzed at one point. And when he walked past and I could feel my arms starting to free up, I got the freak out of there. Went home, took that knife and threw it in the sink. And did I listen after that? No, the devil came back in again and said, oh, don't worry about it. Next time, we'll get him next time. That dumb nonsense. Yeah. Did I go back? No. That one left alone. I moved on to something else. Something else more destructive and stupid at the end of the day. But anyway, he always got plans for you to do something else stupid. Always got plans for you to do something stupid. He'll just keep on going along the road until he murders you. Until, when I got locked up, everything was wiped away. And when they came to lock me up, what am I going to do? I got no one to hate, no revenge toward anyone. I'm in there scared to death, a 16-year-old kid trying to figure out what's going to happen to my life. I'm going to spend the rest of my life in this place. What am I going to do? That's all I'm thinking about right now. And the devil's in there messing with me. You're going to commit suicide. It's the only way out of this situation. You're not going to be able to get out of this. How much jail time you're looking at? They caught you with all the evidence. They're going to certify you as an adult. You're 16 years old. Pretty soon you're going to be 17 and boom, they got you. You might as well just hang yourself right now. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff he does. First-hand experience with that joker. So the Lord came in and protected me through everything that I went through. Became a Christian man, became strong, and the devil hated it. Got out of that situation, got baptized on the first Sunday, made it official, and tried my best to walk in that straight and narrow path because I knew what the Lord's plan. I knew what the devil's plan was from when I saw. But I had to go through that nightmare first to see what was trying, the enemy in front of me, because I couldn't see the enemy at all. I could not see him. When I went to that situation, I saw him. And I see him, Mr. Fernando. I see him in you. Every time. I see him in your friends. I see him in your associates. I see him in all of you people who attack me for no reason whatsoever. I see it in you. And the outcome that's going to happen to him will happen to you. Because the devil's got plans for you. I've been warning y'all about that. You think at the end of the day attacking me is going to harm me? No, it's not going to harm me in any way whatsoever. It harms you. Because you're playing the devil's game. And he already knows from the door what he can take and what he can't take. And he knows at the end of the day that he can't take me because he tried it already and he failed. I'm covered in the blood. I'm with Jesus. If you're not, then that's what you're facing. So in a situation when his time comes, his decision will come when he's in that position and he's nowhere he can go. He can't go to the left. He can't go to the right. He's in a small little box and the devil will come to him. And God will come to him too. Sometimes, and here's the thing about it. God doesn't always come sometimes. He really doesn't. I told you, there's a certain, I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying that in the Bible, it speaks of a certain amount of people that are going to heaven and a certain amount of people will be going to hell. Now, people at the end of the day will jump to conclusions and go, oh, you're saying, no, I'm not saying that. Did I just, see what I mean? That's what the YouTuber just literally just sat there and said, that you would take the smallest part of what I just said and twist it around. But that's what the devil does too. So remember, when you carry on act like that, who's talking to you and having that conversation with you? And what his plans are for you. Because his plans are to kill you at the end of the day. And he's going to try every single day you get up. He's going to try to murder you. And if he got his wish at the end of the day, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now. I'd be in prison right now. I'd probably be dead. But if I hung myself, killed myself, whatever happened, that's what would happen. Because I don't think I could spend that much time in there. I couldn't do it. It's depression enough to spend that much time in there as it is. I could imagine going through all that for that long a time, 40, 80 years in prison, spend the rest of my, no, I got to kill myself. Yep. So, yeah. That being said. So now that I'm out here free, and he got no control over me. At the end of the day, I know that rhymes, but he has no control over me. He lost his opportunity, and that ticks him off. And that's why, at the end of the day, he will coach you to do dumb stuff, to either toward me or somebody else, because he's mad. Number one, he can't touch me, but even though he still can't touch me, he knows God protects me. But number two, he can get you. And that's what Fernando did. Fernando listened to the devil, and that's where the devil put him at. After he got multiple opportunities, we would have walked away from that. You do know that, right? You do know when that paperwork came out to him, we were trying to get him to leave us alone. That's it. And if you go sit there and say, well, you're attacking my grade paint. You don't own grade paint, man. You act like you own all grade paint. Do you know how many different companies make grade paint out there on the market? How many different versions of grade paints there are out there? You're not the only person to make grade paint. They were making grade paint long before you ever started your YouTube channel, because we were there before you. So you're not the king of grade paints. Just because somebody talks about grade paint intentionally doesn't mean about you. And he gets all fired up about that. Now, because you committed some really heinous crimes with grade paints and you have ripped off a lot of your customer base with that stuff, you're known as the poster child everywhere as a person that, again, you make other people make grade paints look bad. Jeez, man, take responsibility. That's the problem. You have people who do stuff and they just will not take that responsibility. They will not sit there and go, okay, I messed up, I made the mistake. But instead, they're going to blame everybody else for their problems. That's what the devil does. The devil sits there and blames everybody else. He blames God at the end of the day. It's God's fault that I was turned into this hideous-looking creature, whatever the heck he looks like, which I don't care to look like. Find out. He was a beautiful angel, by the way. Lucifer was he was a beautiful angel. He was God's right hand. He became jealous, envied over God, and decided he was going to basically take over heaven. At the end of the day, got a bunch of other angels to listen to him and say, hey, look, I know everything there is about God. No, Jack, no, stupid that is at the end of the day. That's why when I meet people that are devil worshippers and they want to send me stuff at 666, that stuff don't faze me whatsoever. You're not doing anything over here. You're just hurting yourself. That's all you're doing. You're not hurting me. You're hurting yourself. You curse yourself when you do that. But I'm going to tell you how dumb you are. And I mean this. This is literally, when I talk to these guys from time to time, how stupid you are and what you're following. You think at the end of the day is your God. Let me explain something to you. What are the odds? You have two fighters, right? One fighter has the ability to know what you're going to do before you do it. Even before you think it. Even before the process becomes a reality. In your mind, that you can see it, he knows what you're going to do. What are the odds of you beating that fighter? It's virtually impossible. He knows what you're going to do before you do it. So when you can't beat him, it's impossible. The devil knew this about God. And yet he still tried to overtake heaven. How dumb would one have to be to do this? That means the outcome would not go well. And what would the outcome be? Oh, yeah, turn into some hideous-looking thing at the end of the day, thrown onto the earth, cast out of heaven, forever damnation, and waiting for destruction of your life. So that he's mad. He's a super, super extremely mad. And he's vowed at the end that he's going to basically start this massive army, and he's going to collect as many souls as he possibly can, and you're going to fight in his army. And you're going to basically attack God. That's what you're going to do. But he's not going to win. Because if you could win, wouldn't you have won that the first time around and not the second time? Because, the second time I would have told you, like, hey, you know what, maybe I'm in a situation where, I'm out of my league. But no, he's persistent. So, he's going to try again in Armageddon. And again, he's going to lose because it says right there in the Bible. It's written in the Bible what's going to happen to him. He knows it. He knows the Bible like the back of his hand. So he knows what's going to happen, but he's still going to try. And he's going to lose Armageddon. Again, he's going to be thrown into the lake of fire where he's going to burn for eternity. And all those who follow him and were condemned will go there too. And you will burn forever for eternity. While God's people live in paradise forever. There you go. So he's got to collect soldiers. Yep. And that's where he's hitting at. Oh, that's Jaime turns his life around. Is there a possibility? Yeah, Jaime could turn his life around. He can easily turn his life around. He'll still have to go through the process. That doesn't change. You commit crimes, It says in the Bible, you got to basically go through man's law and God's law. You got to obey the laws of this land at the end of the day. And you got to obey the laws with your Heavenly Father. If you're prosecuted here, you have to deal with whatever punishment they give you here. That's the way it is. You don't get out of jail free card because you're a Christian. Any Christian tells you that, they're not a real Christian. Any Christian comes up and tells you that, I can go commit crimes or whatever I want to do, and automatically I'm forgiven, and I gotta, you don't get. Even Christians can go to hell. It says it right there in the Bible that the devil can come and fool the very elect. Even they can be fooled. They can lose their spiritual path. Don't get it wrong that a Christian believes that then they can curse, carry on, drink, smoke, whatever, do all kinds of vicious, malicious things at the end of the day, steal from the church, all that stuff. And you think you got a free trip to heaven? Do it? No, you're not going. You can't go. How are you going to go there? In heaven, no blemished sheep can enter. That means a sheep that may have a spot on it or may have something on it, only a pure white. And people get this mixed up because they think it's about race. No, please stop that at the end of the day. Really do. Because the Jewish people, God's chosen, Jesus, who was also a Jewish man who hung on the cross, they're not white, okay? People say, no. If they were at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You got the KKK. They can't stand anybody else they consider is not pure white, which, again, I can't express enough that most of you are probably mixed with something. America's a melting pot, literally. Someone wants to come up with an interesting show, I got an interesting show for you. Take racist people, give them a DNA test, and then expose exactly what's in their blood. And I guarantee you, the DNA, and I guarantee you the most interesting show you're watching your entire life. I literally saw it happen on Oprah once against a guy, but I'll tell you about that later on. Anyway, as I said before, that, when Jesus hung himself, he died on the cross, so we can have salvation and all that. But I lost my, that's why I got to learn to stay on track, because my brain goes in different directions. I'm always thinking about something else. But anyway, long story short, devil's going to try to kill you. That's what it comes down to. Any way possible way. And again, people who basically serve the devil at the end of the day, again, you're serving somebody who's a complete idiot. Because again, you can't beat somebody who knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. It is virtually impossible. So like I said, that's what sometimes, he can turn his life around. He can't. He's going to be in that situation. The devil's going to mess with him. Every chance he gets, he's going to finish the job. And that's what he's going to try to do, finish the job, try to get rid of him. And if the Lord comes to you, because sometimes the Lord does not come to everybody. That's why I'm so happy at the end of the day that all the stuff that I did when I was out in the street and I denied God on so many levels, he didn't have to come there to save me at all, period. God owes you nothing. That's what people get in the back of their heads. They get so twisted up with that one. They think God owes you. God don't owe you jack. Nothing at all. Not a thing. He owes you death. That's pretty much it. He don't owe you anything. If he gives you something, that is a blessing that he's giving you that, because he doesn't owe you nothing. Never think at the end of the day that your almighty Father, God owes you anything. He don't owe you nothing at all. You live in a sinful body. Your body is cursed, number one. You have dirty thoughts, evil thoughts. Even the elect, even Christians, those thoughts do process through their head. And the difference between a Christian man and a man that's considered a Christian man basically knows these thoughts are evil, and he tries his best to basically diminish these thoughts by praying and giving it to God. He knows what's given him these thoughts. Where a man that's of the world doesn't see it at all because he's blind. He can't see the word of God. He don't understand it because he's blinded. So therefore the devil has more control over him. The devil can block more of that vision of the light where Christians see in the light, and the devil has more control over that man of the world. He can block that light from him seeing it. That's why they sit in darkness. But anyway, so people go out and you think at the end of the day, some Christians feel that they can do whatever they want to do and drink, smoke, party, whatever, and you got a free get out of jail free card. No, you don't. You don't have one. You don't have one at all, period. You have, at the end of the day, that you have to be sorry for the sins you have committed. And I mean sorry. Never want to commit these again. Sorry. Sins at the end of the day. If you have if a guy walks across the street and say he spits in your face, and then he comes back and says, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spit in your face. That was rude. That was disrespectful." He's okay, no problem. But he comes back the next day and does the same thing, spits in your face again. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that." And he repeats this process multiple times. Do you think he's sorry for what he's doing? He's not. So your Heavenly Father sees that you are not sorry for the things that you have done, so therefore you can't be forgiven. You know, you can't be forgiven if you hate someone else. If you hate someone. Now, do I hate Jamie? No, I don't hate you toward him. Do I forgive him for the evil things he's done to me? Yeah, I have. I've already done that already, a long time ago. That's why we can't. If I didn't forgive Jamie and if I hated him, I'd have never gave him a chance at all, period. We would have struck him from the door with everything. We gave him opportunity. There were even times where I've dragged my feet about going and filing documents against him because I thought, let's see what happens. Most people don't say, let's see what happens when you attack their friends and family and their business. They just come after you. So, again, I don't have any hatred toward him. When I do these paperwork and stuff, I have to pray and ask the Lord, any hatred, anything I have in my heart that the devil can try to come in and try to control something, take it away from me. I do that, Fernando, because you attacked my company. And I'm doing it by the law and doing what has to be done the way it should be done. You don't have the right to do what you want to do. There's consequences behind everything. Like, I don't have a right to do what I want to do. There's consequences behind that. It's a shame I have to talk to you like you're a child, but that's how I have to, because you don't understand these things. So, can Jamie be saved? Yes, he can be saved. I was saved. I done crazy stuff at the end of the day. Some really reckless, crazy stuff. And I was saved. Paul was saved. Paul killed Christians. He rounded them up and he killed them. He was saved. There are a lot of apostles that were saved who did things at the end of the day that they know darn well would do. And he destructive acts. And the Lord forgave him. That's why Jesus died on the cross. He died on the cross, sacrificed himself, the final sacrifice, so you have the ability to be saved if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. That's why I'm saved. Because that man came down and hung on the cross and went through all that pain for me, so I can basically be able to accept the kingdom of heaven and go see my Lord's face. And he'll do the same thing for Jamie. Even though Jamie sat there and listened to the devil and all that, and don't let the devil tell you in this situation, Fernando, because again, he'll be in your ear and he's going to be telling you things.